Well, hello there, and welcome back. I am Ramona. This is the Smell of Logic channel, where we read Reddit stories and advice and just weird things, whatever floats my boat at the moment kind of thing. We're doing a couple of paranormal stories here. We're going to be adding a couple together because some of these are not as long as others. So we're taking from several different threads, but here we go. This one starts with a haunting that left me at a loss for an explanation. Sharing my post from a different subreddit, just to chronicle and reach out to people who may be dealing with certain things. I hope you're all having a wonderful week thus far. It's almost over, so let's make sure to end all things on a great note. I have shared a couple of things, and I'm a pretty active commenter about the dangers of things like getting carbon monoxide detectors. I am a paranormal investigator. I'm notably a skeptic. I believe, but I try to approach things with a measurable degree of skepticism. It's important to rule out the clear and present dangers in a situation before you look at the paranormal. So far, I agree. This is one of those things where I am a loss for an explanation. I was investigating a residence. Two friends, whom I'll call M and K, were living in a rental home and experiencing increasing levels of paranormal activity. I always jump at the chance to investigate residences. It's like one of my favorite ways to investigate. M and K are both female. M had a girlfriend and K had a boyfriend. They all had issues at the house at one point or another. The gist of all this was that they were hearing things in the house that sounded like each other. Kay had an experience while alone in the house where she claimed that she heard her boyfriend coming in through the front door and calling her name. She went down to find nobody there, but she got the feeling that her boyfriend was trying to scare her. She heard noises coming up from the downstairs room, and she went in, expecting her boyfriend to jump scare her, but found nothing. M and her girlfriend were in bed one night when M heard Kay and her boyfriend fighting. He was really yelling at her and calling her some very profane things. So M got out of bed to go confront her best friend's boyfriend, but upon investigation, she found that Kay was asleep in her bedroom. Kay's boyfriend had an experience one night. M had called him from the bathroom to ask him if he could go up to her room and grab her bra for her from her dresser. Kay's boyfriend was a gentleman about it and went to grab Kay to carry out the tasks. Kay was insistent that M was at her brother's house, but grabbed the bra and went downstairs to find nobody in the. I did my usual. Ran my carbon monoxide detector. Nothing. This is a must. I'm not investigating a house with built-up carbon monoxide. I walked to the house with my EMF detector. M was also a paranormal investigator. She takes a slightly more spiritual approach to it, though. The main reason I was there was because she wanted another set of eyes in the house. I got some readings, higher than average. I also prefer to investigate at night. You just get more unfiltered results that way. Also, as I was naturally always questioning the authenticity of things, I do have a bug detector. I usually don't use this in front of people. I don't want them to take it personally, but I also don't want to get punked. I found no external factors that would let me believe they had been tampered with anything to fake the haunting. I did some spirit box sessions with them at night. I got K and M and Doctor. I am an optometrist by trade. I took that as a good signal that whatever it was knew about me. Now, this is one of the more up-close and personal encounters I had. I slept on their pull-out couch. I wasn't asleep. It was about 1 a.m. at the time. I was reading a book on my tablet when I heard the door to their basement open. It was maybe 10 feet from the couch. Really good to hear. It was really easy to hear. The creaking sounded deafening at that hour. Out of the quiet, I heard a voice saying, "Hey, come here." I still get the chills when I think about it. My arm hair actually stood at attention. I got up and went to look. You read that right. I did that. And to tell you the truth, I would do it again. I'm much more interested in uncovering the truth. I stood at the top of the staircase to the basement with my phone's flashlight. As soon as I step down onto this first step, the door closes behind me. To make it worse, the door locked. I started banging on the door, but eventually I just called in from my phone to come downstairs to open the door. On the other side of the door, I could hear what only can be described as a cackle like a whisper. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night, but I also left the house with the notion that not everything can be explained. I told M and K that if they wanted me to come back and investigate further, I would. They ended up doing a cleansing, but once that failed, to rid the house of the entity, they ended up moving. As of right now, neither of them have reported any paranormal events since leaving. So yeah, that's one of my stories that left me lost for an explanation. Hope everyone has the most amazing rest of their week. Stay vigilant, stay observant, be safe out there. Be interested to find out if that person had more stuff. That's a very interesting story. So we're going to jump on over to another thread here. This is about a night shift at a hospital. I have been doing night shifts to earn extra cash as a nighttime cleaner. Saturday night, I looked up and see a man at the information desk standing by the security guard. When I looked back around the same time, the man was at the nurse's station behind me when nobody was there. The lights were out from bedtime, and nurses were doing their rounds, so I brushed it off as I was just starting to get silly. Often I see shadows or things at the corner of my eye, and as I go down to the basement, there is an eerie feeling down there by the morgue, like somebody was watching me in the corner of the hall, not just the cameras. The other night cleaner is rather an odd fellow who leaves very detailed reports on eerie feelings and odd things he's seen. Sunday night, I heard the call bells all go off to let somebody in the building. When security and myself looked around, nobody was there, but the call bells kept ringing on and off all night. Someone replies with, "Geez, sorry about your situation, but at least it seems mild." In your mid-sized to small city? I was watching the Travel Channel Haunted Places marathon while on vacation. They had several episodes on hospital hauntings alone. There is so much paranormal activity in hospitals because it has all the traumatic activity that happens at hospitals. That's very true. My husband used to work at one for a while, and yeah, he would see all kinds of things. People would see all kinds of things. It was kind of just like a given. Anyone that worked there, even if you don't necessarily believe in the paranormal, you just kind of chalked it up to, well, there's something weird going on. But yeah, I think hospitals and schools are some of the most, I hesitate to say haunted per se, active places, because there's so much emotion. There's a lot of, there's a lot of everything there. So yeah. And someone suggests, well, as you enter into a space where you feel like you're being watched, just quietly tell them why you are there. When I go to the back room to get the cleaning supplies, I feel watched. I say, "I'm just here to get the cleaning supplies." Not sure who or what does that stuff. We should never try to engage them, but stating the reason for your presence can keep it from getting spooky for you. That's actually a good idea too. Just tell them, "Hey, I'm here for this. Not going to harm you, not going to do anything." But I guess there's also kind of the danger of, if you do engage, they might, if they're of a certain disposition, they might try to contact or connect or even cling on to you. So I don't know. Maybe there's no great perfect answer. Someone else replies with, "I see and hear things all the time in the hospital. They don't bother me, but I don't bother them." One did point to a TV that was off in an empty room, so I turned it on for them. Usually I can tell when someone is passing, and often that's right when the lights are getting screwy. I had one person in a room sign off on the wall shortly after he passed, as if to say thank you to me personally. I sent him out of the hospital when he had a retractable upper back pain unresponsive to meds. Turns out it was a massive heart attack. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's lots of emotion and stuff there. Yeah. So, okay, we're going to move over to the next thread here. And this is something evil. For as long as I can remember, I've always had one older lady spirit attached to me. She protected my daughter when she was a baby. On my baby monitor, I could hear my daughter's cry. I would start my way to her room and she stopped crying. I'd go back to my room and you can hear lullabies being sung to her. Okay, cool, helpful, used to that. But since we moved into my house, renovated from a fire, something evil comes out of the attic and its black and shadowy mass. It leaves marks on me such as scratches and cuts, and my cat stare at the corner where the attic door is. It moves and throws random items in our bedroom where the attic is. My 9-year-old boy at the time didn't fall down the stairs. He was pushed down the stairs. Voices and footsteps upstairs when everyone was downstairs. You can go see shadows coming up and down the stairs and hallway. We have sound-activated LED rope lights, and they will go crazy in the middle of the night. Just an uneasy feeling it gives off. Did this research and no one died on the fire or anything. It just escalating. At first I thought it was a trickster, but now it's hurting people and leaving me marked. Any idea what I'm dealing with here? poltergeist is what I'm gonna suggest. Just my own uneducated opinion. The scratches, the harming, that's not just a ghost. That's not just someone trying to get their presence known. That is malicious intent, and they're going to escalate. So here's some replies. There are entities that are living off of your property. Doesn't necessarily mean a tragedy has to take place for them to be attached to a certain place. In most cases, they will harass you because they don't want you to stay there, as it is their space, is what they think. You might have to leave the place if they attacked you. You could also call in a medium or a priest or some sort of a spiritual elder. I don't. The word is escaping me. It doesn't have to be a priest. It could be a minister. It could be a shaman. It could be a witch. It could be anything like that. Come in and have them do some work. Someone else asked, is the old lady still around? Sometimes spirits will put up a ruse to look harmless so you don't freak out and try to get rid of it until they are ready to reveal themselves and who they really are, which is evil and nasty. Or once you realize you tolerated the old lady for many years and entered through the same opening. This is why it's good to get rid of all spirits. You don't really know who or what they are, and they have no business in the lives of the living. They aren't part of this realm. Something that doesn't sound good. I would do some more research on the property to find out as much as you can. Go back as far as you can with the land itself. Then I would just call, I don't know, a priest or a shaman or a minister. See, there you go. Or even a demonologist. If it was me, I'd move. Just saying. But just moving doesn't always help either, because if it's attached to you, it could come along. If there's something in the house, if there's something about the house, about the land, if it found a willing participant in your family or an unwilling participant, it could still follow you. So moving usually does help, but you definitely want to cleanse everything, yourself included, your family, your animals, your possessions. A lot of people don't talk about that. Oh, I'll just move and it'll stop. Well, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So just be careful, and I hope the people in these hate stories, because they are experiences, supposing they're all real, supposing we're not being trolled. I hope they have found their peace and are not being contacted or harassed by these creatures anymore. Anyway, thank you for listening to this video. I appreciate it. Go check out some more. If you liked this one or any of the others, please leave a like or a comment. Maybe subscribe to the channel. But if nothing else, please go check out another video. There's plenty on here, lots of different topics. And I appreciate you. Talk to you later.